You Tommy?
Hello everyone, my name is Taylor and welcome to AAA Digest. We make Mafia videos for now and put them on the internet. So continuing with our coverage of the Mafia 1 remake with the gameplay and recent interviews with Hangar 13 popping up, we have 10 extra details for Mafia the Definitive Edition. So no BS, let's get right to it. Number 1, Sogliuzzo. Now the voice behind two major characters from Mafia 2, Luca Guarino and Carlo Falcone, as well as additional voices for Mafia 3, will be in the Mafia 1 remake in some capacity. Many are pointing towards him reprising his role as a younger Carlo Falcone. Based on the timeline, Carlo ran a major bootlegging operation during the Prohibition alongside Eddie Scarpa. He recently conspired with Frank Vinci to assassinate Thomas Moretti in 1933 and eventually took over, renaming it the Falcone family. As we mentioned in my prior video, this game will do a better job of connecting the trilogy, so it isn't out of the realm of possibility that we see some key characters or at the very least hear some familiar voices from the series. We got a big hint towards this with the cigarette cards used as collectibles. Here's hoping. Number 2, the car cyclopedia. So the vehicles in Mafia are authentic to their time period. In the remake we will have access to 53 classic cars and then some motorcycles that are all based on real life counterparts. We also have a test drive option that allows the player to freely drive a specific car of their choice to get a feel for its handling, braking, acceleration, etc. Number 3, compatibility mode on PS5 and Xbox Series X. Now with the game releasing a couple of months before November, the anticipated release month of the next generation versions of consoles, Blackman said there's nothing we can talk about right now in relation to next gen. It's definitely something we're looking at. He did say that Mafia Definitive Edition will run in compatibility mode on PS5 and Xbox Series X, so at the very least they're looking into next gen versions, but more on that if it becomes a reality. Number 4, controlling the loadout. So thankfully similar to the original, the remake will be staying close to the weapon rollout selection from the 2002 version, with Tommy getting specific weapons that are suited for each mission, with stronger rifles and equipment like Tommy guns and grenades being reserved for later in the game, giving the player that great sense of progression from the original, making it feel like Tommy is becoming more effective as you advance throughout the story. Quote from Hayden Blackman with Oz Games, "The types of weapons you have obviously are different too. In Mafia you have a pistol and a shotgun and that's it for a while. The machine gun is a rarity and it's something that you don't get until much later. Same thing goes for grenades. When they show up that's a big deal. We control the weapon loadout and the weapon rollout, how much damage they do, how much sway they have, how aggressive we are with things like auto targeting." So they're attempting to make Tommy notably more effective in the last third of the game than he is in the first third, although you can still pick weapons on the ground during certain missions. Number 5, classic settings mode. So we can change how strict the police are. Mafia Definitive Edition will ship with being what's referred to internally as a classic setting mode, allowing players the opportunity to play with the same level of rigorous policing found in the original. Quote, "Related to the police system, we wanted to make sure that we captured that for the players that wanted to experience that." Hayden adds, noting that there will be settings to make it all easier for those that simply want to experience the story. Police officers will also ride motorbikes for those who were asking in prior videos. Number 6, the new Heaven Race has a classic mode. So expanding upon the previous point, when asked about the notorious race mission from the original, Hayden said playing on the classic settings they expect players to fail the race on a few occasions, but wear it like a badge of honour upon completing the race on this difficulty. The short answer is yes, it will be challenging because I think it's part of the charm of the original. It's a very polarising mission and for some people the difficulty of that mission is what makes it great. For others they want to put their controller through the monitor. We knew that going into it and we tried to replicate it for players in the classic settings. He later added, "We're still tuning the big race and I guarantee we'll be working on it until the day we ship." So there we have it, they want the race to be as difficult as it was on the classic mode. And for those wondering, the driving sequence in Mafia Definitive Edition will have an easy mode available in the settings. For wimps. So number 7, Luigi's actor. So the actor for Sarah's father and bartender for Salieri's bar has been confirmed to be Robert Catrini, who's played small roles in Birds of Prey, Jack Reacher, Never Go Back and G.I. Joe Retaliation. You'll see Luigi during most missions to a small extent working behind the bar and helping customers. Number 8, over 20 main missions. So the game has well over 20 main missions, the original had 21, although in the remake we will see extensions and extra gameplay sequences added to some of its fan favourite missions. Number 9, Tommy's development into a mobster. So now something very notable about the remake scenes we've seen so far in the gameplay and cutscenes is how Hangar 13 are capturing Tommy Angelo's transition from being an average taxi driver to a full-fledged hitman for the Salieri family through actor's performance. After learning he killed off undercover cops, Tommy has a look on his face as if his world has just ended and looks as if he's going to puke looking at Sam's wounds in the barn and coming to the reality that Sam may die. This is definitely something we trust Hangar 13 with, is to accurately present Tommy's arc all the while keeping him relatable. Number 10, Tommy's combat style. So in terms of combat, Hayden Blackman talked about keeping the difficulty somewhat true to their original. Quote, "We really want to think about how often you pop out of cover, aim down sights, blind fire or risk moving between cover." Hayden adds, "We want you to think about the best time to use a Molotov to flush somebody out or what weapon to pull out. You will run out of ammo if not careful, and part of that was to capture the spirit of the original." But even back then, the combat was born from who this character is. He's not a trained soldier, he's not a marine, he's not somebody that is familiar with firearms. So there you have it, yet from the gameplay he looks like Glinken Clay reincarnated, but who knows what difficulty that's on for the gameplay presentation, and it's been confirmed it's an older build of the game anyway. To nitpick a little, I wish Molotovs and grenades weren't thrown casually over Tommy's shoulder like Lincoln and instead had to be brought out to be thrown, but beggars can't be choosers. But that's it for this video. What do you think about the option to have a close to original difficulty for the legendary race? I seriously hope it's as difficult as the original like Hayden is saying. Some of the OG fans of the series would take great enjoyment seeing new people to the series suffer as we did. But that's it from us. Mafia the Definitive Edition releases September the 25th on Xbox One, PS4 and PC. For more content like this, subscribe if you want. Goodbye.
Get